Hi, my name is Stephen McGee and I'm the author of Curing Electromagnetic Hypersensitivity. I'm here to talk about a subject of electromagnetic hypersensitivity, and that is supplements that people take for the condition. Now, I've been feeding these Dieffenbachia plants supplements, and we're going to review the growth of these plants. And you're going to be surprised at what's making the plants grow really well and what's not so good. And we're going to start with the not so good, which is this one. So as you can see, this plant has very dark green, glossy leaves with no patterning. It's very typical of radio frequency exposure in plants. That's because these plants are extensively radio frequency exposed from transmitting utility meters and cell phone towers that are in the area of my home. So this is kind of how my controls grow. And this one got yeast. So yeast in this plant did not offset the radio frequency exposure on it. So the next best plant is this one. So we're getting more like the typical growth of the Dieffenbachia. It's just a very small leaf. So Dieffenbachia leaves are typically the size of your hand. So this one's about half size. And this one got multivitamins. So multivitamins help. So let's have a little look at this one. So the leaf size is a little bit bigger. Still not full size, but it's a much healthier looking plant. And this one got iron. So the next one is here. It's got all the patterning in the leaves. It's got very good looking leaves. They're just not quite full size. So this one got fish oil. And I should mention that, as you can see by this label, that the original plant died, and that was because it was getting fish oil weekly. So this plant now gets fish oil once a month, a teaspoon of fish oil, and it appears to be very beneficial to it. And I should mention that all of these plants get the adult dosing of multivitamins once per month. So what an adult would take once per day, these get once per month. If you give them anything more than that, it seems to really stress them and makes them sick. And the same thing appears to occur in the human. So you need to be very careful when you're supplementing that you don't overdose on supplements. So this one's getting B12. So let's take a little look at the plant. And it's very tall. So you see that we've got very healthy looking leaves, and they're quite large. Still not full size, but they're better than the previous plants. So B12 definitely seems to work. And here's another one. So you can see the leaf is much larger. And these are getting close to the way that the Dieffenbachia is supposed to grow. It's quite amazing really, because these are grown in radio fields. And for many years I actually couldn't get the Dieffenbachia to grow like this at my home. And I started realizing that you could intervene with things like supplements to make them grow. So this one got copper, and if I pull back, you see it's quite tall compared to the previous plants. So this one is by far the best of the bunch. It has the full size leaf growth, lots of patterning, and it's one of the best looking plants in my home right now. And that's quite amazing given how radio frequency toxic my home is. I can actually get this plant to grow like this. And down here you can see that this one got kelp. So kelp was the star performer out of the supplements. And we have a couple more down here. Now these have been separated out because they're actually quite young experiments. So we won't really get results from these until the end of the year. so they're still in the process of deforming. But we can see that there's something going on in this plant. So you can see that the leaves have gone shiny and they're losing their patterning compared to the previous leaf growth. So this one is definitely showing some symptoms of radio frequency exposure. And there's not a lot going on in this one. This was the original leaf, and you can see that we've still got patterning, but we've got shiny leaves. So when you get shiny leaves on your Dieffenbachia, it's a pretty good sign that it's in a radio wave field and it's showing radio frequency sickness. So that was supplementing and the Dieffenbachia plant. And if you want to see how this transfers into the human, you can read about it in Curing Electromagnetic Hypersensitivity. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and I wish you the very best of health. Thank you.